Welcome back to the channel, Fat Boys. Many of you have way too dirty of bikes, and now it's riding season, so it's time to clean them. Let's do it. So this video is going to be for the person that is not really sure how to wash their bike, they're new to riding, or they're just wanting to take the first steps in washing their bike themselves. This isn't gonna be a professional detailing video. This isn't going to be going into all of the nits and grits and brands that you should be using when cleaning your bike. What this is going to be a video about how to actually wash your bike and the basics of it, how you should use it, what tools you should use in order to get started, and things you should and shouldn't do when washing it. So one of the first things you need to do is to make sure your bike has cooled down. It doesn't have to be cooled all the way down, but it has to be cool enough to the touch. I'm touching the heads, it feels good. I'm touching down here, it feels good. I'm touching the exhaust, it's not hot, I'm burning myself. That means my bike is cool enough now in order to wash it. Next thing you need to do is, if you have a fairing like this Memphis Shades one, you need to go ahead and take it off. You want to wash this separately, so because this requires just a little bit different treatment, and then you're also going to be able to clean underneath and make sure everything is nice and clean. Now the next thing you need to do is to do a pre-wash, and how you do this is you just get the bike nice and wet, and you make sure that you're starting to rinse all of the dirt off, all the really loose dirt. And you do this so that way when you start scrubbing away with the soap, it's already, all the really abrasive isn't going to be scratching the paint on your bike. What you don't want to do is you don't want to use a pressure washer. A pressure washer is actually going to hurt the paint and actually peel it off. You can use a pressure washer on your engine fins down here, but it's up to you and your discretion if you use it. I like to use this fake pressure washer, as it gives a nice, actually pretty soft spray of the water and actually helps really break up anything, but it's not too strong that's actually going to be damaging my paint. You want to make sure when you're doing this, you want to get into as many nooks and crannies as possible. Focus on the tires, make sure you get underneath things. Dirt gets everywhere, and you want to make sure you're getting as much of it off as possible. Another point, if you want to start getting a little bit more detail and you feel like you really need to, I don't need to right now, so I'm not going to, but you can also take off your bags if you have them. So that way you can get on behind the bags and you can really detail in there, and you can also start focusing on the rear wheel. And so once you have done that, the next step you're going to want to take is to actually lather your bike with the soap. I like to use one of these, which actually has the soap in here, and you can also use this in order to pre-wash the bike. You have the spray, shoots out the water, you turn the nozzle, and it starts to include the soap into that. So let's go ahead and mix in my soap and start lathering the bike. And so very same thing, when you were pre-washing the bike, you want to make sure you're getting all the soap into all the crevices that you possibly can. You want to make sure all you're doing is wiping away the dirt, and you have the lubricant of the soap to help you with that. And so once you have the bike fully lathered up and the soap has been going on it for a while, you then have more soap. You want to have another bucket filled with some soap. You then want a microfiber cloth or a microfiber cleaning device in order to start wiping away that off. So I like to dip that in there with the extra soapy water and start wiping away all that extra dirt. Making sure you're getting into all the nooks and crannies of the bike as best as you can. Another tip is that you want to start on the high places and work your way down. If you start low and start going up high, once you start getting up to the high position, all the dirt is then going to start going back down onto all the section you already wiped away. And then once you're done lathering, just like when you take a shower, you finally gotta rinse it all off. And again, you want to start at the top and work your way down. That's the secret to washing your bike. Starting high and going low. And so, once you finally get all of the soap off your bike, the next thing you're gonna need to do is dry it. So you can either use a microfiber cloth and start drying it, or you can use my favorite trick to do, which is what Harley does. You can use air. And I think this is much better. You're not putting any extra force on the paint, and it just works a little bit better. You know, you're not having extra things to wash. And then once you get the bike as dry as you possibly can, doesn't have to be perfect, but it's good enough, then you want to go and protect the paint. How you're gonna do that is with some wax. I don't need to wax. All you're gonna be doing is you're gonna be applying your wax, and then you're gonna be removing it depending on which wax you use. So read the instructions on your wax on how to do it, and that's gonna tell you what to do in order to protect your paint. It's important to wax. You do not have to wax every single time you wash the bike. It will actually do more damage if you do that. So what you should do is wash it between every other to once every 4 washes. That is the key to helping protect your paint. And so for another tip, all you chrome users out there, if you are cleaning your chrome, another tip to help remove all those water spots is to actually use steel wool. But what you need to use is you need to use, what is that, 4-0 steel wool, because this will actually just remove the water spots, to remove a little bit of that grime that sticks to it, but it's not going to scratch it. If you go any coarser, you're running the potential of scratching your chrome. As an example, you can look right here. On this side, it has been nice and cleaned. It is maybe just a little bit dirty, but you don't see any grime building up on that chrome. But then you come right on over here, and you see all that chrome, all that grime that's built up on that chrome. You take a little bit of steel wool to that, and it'll come right off and looking good as new. So if you found this video very informational, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. It is greatly appreciated, really helps out the channel. If you're new here, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell notification so you know when the next video comes out. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.